Hello there. So, welcome to From Chaos to Harmony Hormone Balancing Solutions for the Health Conscious Mamas. I'm happy to be here to share some information with you on how you can start to get yourself back in balance. So, first, let me ask you, do you feel like you eat healthy? Tried all the diets that promise relief, but still are struggling with symptoms like inability to lose weight and sugar cravings, erratic moods, inability to sleep, all those sorts of things. And are you finding that after you hit the age of 35 to 40, that all your normal wellness routines just don't seem to be giving the results that they used to? I can remember, well, I was probably 38, 39, definitely by 40, noticing some things that were out of the ordinary for me and thinking, what is going on? I haven't changed anything. But hey, that's what happens. But I will share with you some ways to help support you. So, again, I'm going to share as much as I can in the time that we have about how you can start transforming your hormones to support optimal functioning in the body. Plus, I'll be sharing a few great resources on how you can take this work even further. And for those of you who are really action takers and want to have my personal help, I'll be sharing a way to get that as well. So first off, if you don't know me, my name is Erin Furtado, and I am a master nutrition therapist certified by the Nutrition Therapy Institute in Denver, Colorado, which is one of the top nutrition schools in the country, where the education is based on holistic nutrition principles with a bio-individualized approach to nutrition and the importance of getting to the root cause. I find it very serendipitous that as I started to get interested in natural health and healing, I just happened to be within blocks of the school. I got my undergrad from Western Michigan University in psychology, which has a focus on behavior analysis. And after graduating from Western, I started to work in early childhood education, then moved out to Colorado in 2006, where I worked in more schools and childcare centers as a teacher, teacher's aide, after school program leader, summer camps leader, and I also worked as a counselor at a residential treatment facility for adolescents. That was a job, let me tell you. I received my nutrition therapy practitioner certification in 2009, then went on to receive the title Master Nutrition Therapist. And during the past 15 years, I worked in the health and wellness field as the staff nutritionist at an achievement center working with families and children on the spectrum. And before deciding to be a stay-at-home mom, I was the nutritional health coach, nutrition manager at the local natural grocers. So during my time at home, I was focused on our family farm, homesteading, homeschooling, and picked back up my hobby of making botanical skincare products and made it into a business. I continued with my work in nutrition therapy by creating various workshops and presentations and programs, as well as other wellness-related resources. So at the beginning of this year, we moved from the farm and came back to the Denver area, where I took a job as the assistant director of a school enrichment program. And I've recently moved on from there and getting back into alignment with my purpose, which is to empower you to take control of your health and well-being. So you are your own best health advocate. I offer a wealth of knowledge about various aspects of health and wellness with a special focus on women's health, hormone balance, and in particular, thyroid autoimmune conditions. Since when I was in my nutrition program way back when, I self-diagnosed myself with Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune thyroid condition, which was later confirmed by an MD. And I was told that I would be on meds for the rest of my life. And basically the only approach was to wait until my thyroid burnt out. I certainly did not accept that answer, so I took all the natural and holistic modalities I had been learning and was able to heal my autoimmune condition naturally and without medications. I also have a passion for prenatal nutrition and children's health because I find it incredibly important to raise happy and healthy children, as they truly are our future, as cliche as that sounds, but it's true. So despite what we've been told, losing weight is not simply a matter of eat less and exercise more. Kind of that same old mantra that has been perpetuated throughout the years, making millions of women feel bad because it's just, oh, you need more self-control when it comes to weight loss. No. Often the real key to losing that weight and gaining the energy, improving your mood, all lies within your hormones. And so we're going to talk about the hormones that have the greatest effect on our weight, and not to mention our mood and happiness. So food is not just fuel. It's information that speaks to our bodies. And rather than viewing food as just a source of energy measured by calories, we really need to consider it this complex language that communicates with our bodies in profound ways. So the food we eat affects genes and how they express themselves, something that's called epigenetics. And the trillion of microbes in our gut respond to the foods that we eat. They influence digestion, metabolism, as well as mental well-being. And foods will either promote or reduce inflammation, and they play a role in diabetes, obesity, heart disease, all those chronic lifestyle diseases, right? Food affects our appetite, our mood, as well as our reproductive health. So, this simplified idea of calories in, calories out really overlooks all the complexities of nutrition and how our bodies process food. So, we're going to go into the key hormones involved in metabolism and weight loss. One hormone that isn't talked about very much is leptin. And leptin resistance is a condition in which the body cells do not respond properly to the hormone leptin, which plays a key role in regulating appetite and metabolism. Leptin is primarily produced by fat cells and serves kind of as the signal to the brain about the reserves the body's energy stores. So when leptin levels are high, it should signal to the brain that the body has had enough energy and to reduce appetite. And conversely, when leptin levels are low, the brain should stimulate appetite to encourage food intake. Now, leptin is a master circadian signaling hormone that signals your thyroid, insulin, and sex hormones, the immune system, cardiovascular system, and impacts bone density. Leptin resistance is actually a precursor to insulin resistance, meaning it happens first. And I think the majority of people tend to only think of insulin and insulin resistance. Maybe they've heard of that, but they don't realize that if you are leptin resistant, which never gets tested for, you're already you're going to be insulin resistant. So we'll talk a little bit about cortisol here. So your body makes cortisol in response to stress. It's kind of, when people think of cortisol, they think of stress. Most of us have way too much chronic stress, and our cortisol is way off as a result of that. We do need cortisol, however. It's not always bad. It gets released and helps us get up in the morning. High cortisol levels cause a lot of trouble over time, though. It will deplete brain chemicals like serotonin, interfering with sleep, and causing you to store fat, especially in the belly. So high cortisol is also linked to depression, food addictive behaviors, as well as sugar cravings. It increases protein breakdown in the body, which can lead to muscle wasting and osteoporosis or low bone density. Long term, it increases the risk for hypertension, high cholesterol, and heart disease, and also suppresses the immune system, which can lead to increased allergies, infections, and even cancer. Now, to understand the role of insulin, we need to understand the blood sugar cycle. So let's walk through the basic sugar cycle and what happens. So it starts with you feeling hungry, either because you have low blood sugar or because your normal routine of eating is at a particular time. So it's about 11:40 right now. I will probably, be hungry fairly soon for lunchtime. You may reflectively or reflexively, yes, reach for that refined carbohydrate, such as a cookie. And then maybe you actually end up eating several of them, and you enjoy each one. But then a little while later, you get a sugar high. And this is a result of having a really high level of blood sugar. But your body doesn't like the situation at all. In fact, it actually reacts to it as an emergency. So it will recruit the pancreas to release insulin, and because there's too much sugar in the bloodstream. So basically, when blood glucose increases, insulin is released. Now, insulin will bind to the receptors on your body's cells, which cause those cells to unlock the channel that glucose passes through into the cell where it can eventually be converted into energy. Insulin makes it so that the cells take up that glucose, pulling it out of the bloodstream and then reducing your blood sugar level. So, this effort is really the body's attempt to reach that state of balance or homeostasis. Now, this process can actually cause too much insulin to be released, especially if there was a really dramatic spike of blood sugar. But when too much insulin is released, this causes blood sugar levels to go really low. And this can make you feel hungry and want to eat again. So, for some people, that's that shaky, kind of spaced out, uncomfortable feeling. And so the cycle repeats itself. This whole roller coaster, as you can imagine, is a chemical and biological stress on the body. So the stress response and the inflammatory response is constantly activated, and that is really harmful to health. Insulin is also a fat storage hormone. So this means it encourages the body to store fat, which is not helpful, especially when people are trying to lose weight. So once the body has used all the glucose it needs at a particular time, any excess will be stored as fat. It gets stored first in the liver and the muscles as glycogen, which is basically a whole bunch of glucose molecules all bundled up together for storage. And glycogen is a form of short-term energy storage, and it can easily be turned back into glucose when needed. If all of the glycogen stores in your muscles and liver are full, then the body turns the excess glucose into lipids or fats. And fat is a long-term energy storage and isn't as easily converted back into available energy. So fat stores are tough to shift, and this can lead to obesity. And the importance of balancing the blood sugar roller coaster really is, it's of utmost importance. It's things that you can do to reduce that biological and chemical stress so that your body can heal and rebuild and reduce risk of serious diseases. So, how do we balance blood sugar? Well, that's coming up in just a little bit. First, we'll talk about the thyroid. So, the thyroid, which is, they tend to, always use a butterfly as a symbol because it is a butterfly shaped gland located in the neck and is part of your endocrine system and regulates your metabolic rate. Okay. It also exerts a significant effect on the function of nearly every organ in your body. So, your thyroid gland acts as the gas pedal of your metabolism. It controls how fast or how slow that you burn calories and your metabolic rate. So, when women have hyperthyroidism, they make too much thyroid hormone, which can cause major health issues. But the much more common condition of hypothyroidism is hypothyroidism, which occurs when the body doesn't make enough thyroid hormone. And this is quite common. It can happen at any age for a woman, but it particularly becomes more common near menopause. And we tend to think of, just a little sidetracking here, we tend to think of menopause as, women in their 50s or, something maybe even older than that. But menopause can actually start as early as, perimenopause can actually start as early as mid 30s for women. So we kind of need to keep that in mind as well. So about 26% of women in or near perimenopause have this problem. So when the thyroid is sluggish and not producing enough thyroid hormone, it can cause various things. So it could be fatigue, it could be weight gain, hair loss, depression, constipation, dry skin, so many other things. And an important note is that about 90% of hypothyroidism is actually autoimmune. So it's important to distinguish between primary hypothyroidism and autoimmune, since Hashimoto's is more of an immune issue rather than a thyroid issue. So I have some resources that'll help to understand that. If you're interested, we'll talk a little bit about that at the end. And the reasons why I have I have support for thyroid clients is because I was one. And I figured it out, and now I want to help others too as well. And kind of the way that I think about it, I was dealing with this in my late 20s, single, no family, going to school for nutrition and learning all these things. So I was able to really just focus on me and figure this out and, do all the experimenting and do all this. And again, just worry about me. Now, if I was now in my 40s with a family, not having that education, I would say, yeah, forget it. I don't care. So that's why I want to help others get through this, because I've done the work. I've got it figured out. Let me help you out. Again, I digress. So these aren't all the hormones that are involved, but they are some of the major players. So let's talk about some strategies for balancing hormones. So a key way to prevent insulin spikes and balance the blood sugar roller coaster. Um, all foods are really going to stimulate your blood sugar, but simple carbs like white bread, cookies, pasta, all those sorts of things, they cause the most extreme spikes. So you really want to opt for whole grains, which are more complex carbs. So opt for brown rice and vegetables instead. Super exciting, but yeah. But when you eat a diet that's rich in fiber, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, your body will have a much more steady level of blood sugar, given that it takes much longer for the body to digest those complex carbs, and will help the body to avoid excess insulin release. Now, unfortunately, it's simple for a person to just eat sugar. So things like bread and pastries, which are really not far from literally being just straight up sugar. The body doesn't have to work very hard to break those down, and those foods then release the sugar into the bloodstream. So it takes much longer for the body to digest those complex carbs. So those are the types of carbs to favor. You also want to include more protein. Protein helps to balance blood sugar by slowing down digestion, which also slows the absorption of any carbohydrate-based food that you consume along with it. So this, of course, will lessen the intensity and frequency of the blood sugar roller coaster. Now, these two strategies together are why it's a good idea, for example, to eat an apple with almond butter. Not only does the almond butter add some protein to the snack, but it also requires added time for digestion. So eating complex carbs and proteins, and especially a combination of the two, avoids that excess insulin release and subsequent hypoglycemia and keeps the blood sugar nice and stable. So we also want to be including healthy fats. Fats are an essential part of the diet because they help with growth and development. They regulate hormones. They help absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. And they also help to reduce inflammation. Fats also affect blood sugar because fats have much more complex molecular structures than simple carbohydrates. And it takes the digestive system longer to digest them compared to, simple carbs. Hello, where's my brain? But not all fats are created equal. So let's go through the key types of fats here. So trans fats. This is the lowest quality fat and should be avoided as much as possible. These fats are really designed to give foods flavor and increase their shelf life. Trans fats have also been shown to accelerate aging and increase risk for heart disease and cancer. Saturated fat. So this one, it tends to get a bad rap. Basically, saturated fat is generally solid at room temperature, and the quality is extremely important to be mindful of. So our bodies need saturated fat, so it shouldn't be feared or avoided, but we need to get it from quality sources. So saturated fat can be found in meats and dairy, some baked goods, fried fats, palm-based oils like palm kernel, palm oil, and coconut oil. Unsaturated fats. So this is the third fat to look at. And there are two types of unsaturated fats. So monounsaturated fats, which are usually liquid at room temperature. They can be things like olive oil, avocados, nuts, and seeds. Polyunsaturated fats, which are usually liquid at room temperature. They can be found in foods like flaxseed oil, walnuts, flax seeds, fish like salmon, mackerel, trout, and herring. So, some non-dietary ways to balance hormones is getting enough sleep. It's simple, but how many of us get enough sleep? And how many of us get enough quality sleep? I tend to joke that I haven't gotten a solid, good night's sleep since before I was pregnant. I take some liberties by saying that, but at the same time, when we kind of go on this path of not getting enough quality sleep, our health really starts to decline. So I'm just trying to make the point that yes, it's very hard in different phases of our life when different things are going on, but always striving to get that sleep because there's a strong connection between getting enough sleep and maintaining a healthy weight. One explanation for this is that when you don't get enough sleep, your body produces less leptin. That was that hormone that we were talking about. This is a hormone that signals the body that you're full and that it makes more ghrelin, which is a hormone that tells your body you're hungry. So this kind of delivers a 1-2 punch. The higher levels of ghrelin make you feel hungrier, but the lower levels of leptin keep you from feeling satisfied. So sleep is also an excellent way to prevent and manage that adrenal overload that's causing so much excess cortisol to be produced. And speaking of cortisol, that's our next tactic. So I hope you're starting to see how all of these things are connected. So reducing our cortisol levels, excess cortisol levels, because remember, cortisol is important, but when we have too much, that's when the problem comes in. So a consequence of chronic stress is that excess cortisol. So it can cause major issues with resistant weight and make it very difficult for you to lose weight. So some strategies for managing stress: getting outside in nature, in the sun, without sunglasses. That's something I used to love. Sunglasses. I do love sunglasses. I enjoy wearing them. However, I don't think I've worn sunglasses minus maybe once or twice in the past year, because of how it will block receptors in your eyes that it needs that are okay. Well, let me backtrack here. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but there are receptors in our eyes that kind of set the motion of hormones when we get that natural light into our eyes. So it's kind of this whole cycle, this whole cascade. But when we're wearing sunglasses, it's confusing our body because our body thinks it's nighttime, even though it might be in the afternoon or it might be in the morning. So again, ditch the sunglasses. I know they're cute and fun, but it's not good for your circadian rhythm. Anyway, some more ways to manage stress: talking with friends, family, people that you like and enjoy to be around and talk to. Listening to high frequency music. And my favorite is listening to Smile, the frequency minded music. Absolutely amazing. I'm an affiliate with the company. The founder is my good buddy now. And it's amazing music. It's healing music. It's awesome music. There's just so many good things to say about it. If you're ever interested in getting any albums, hit me up. I have a discount code for it. Just even go and check out their website, listeningtosmile.com. It is absolutely amazing. He's redone the entire website and just launched it recently. Just absolutely amazing. Amazing things that he's doing. And I'm part of it, so it's exciting. So check that out. Starting a meditation practice. Limiting alcohol and coffee. I know. But, if you want to promote your health, you kind of have to stop drinking the poisons. I know, it's annoying, but that's the way it is. Practicing breathing exercises. So breathing, like, hello, I breathe, but are you breathing correctly? Are you breathing deeply enough? Kind of a good way to do that is inhaling at the count of 4, exhaling for 6, and kind of doing that and just kind of getting your body to get into that parasympathetic state. Number 3, increasing muscle mass and boosting your metabolism with exercise. Exercise, right? So exercise helps to reverse the trend of, increasing fat and muscle mass decreasing that comes with age. It doesn't have to, though. So women who exercise regularly can look forward to an average 20 more years of productive living than those who don't exercise. So regular exercise also decreases insulin resistance, which helps your body burn carbohydrates more effectively, making fat storage much less likely. And you don't have to do anything strenuous or crazy. Going for a half hour walk, or doing some strength training with weights, yoga. I mean, all these different things that don't have to be, you don't have to run a freaking marathon or anything like that. I'm not a runner. So, but just anything that you do to get the body moving, swimming, anything like that. Okay, I'm going to talk now a little bit about the AO scan and the body system scan, more specifically the hormone scan. So first, that I kind of should talk about what is the AO scanner. So every part of our body, down to our DNA and mitochondria, has a resonant frequency. Technology like the AO scan can scan the body to see what frequencies are resonating out of balance. And when a scan is ran, it can pick up on if different structures or tissues are vibrating out of tune, so to speak. If a part of the body is vibrating at a frequency that is unhealthy or out of tune, the AO scanner sends optimizing frequencies to the body to bring it back towards homeostasis and health. How cool is that? It's a very unique educational tool that teaches us how the body is performing. It communicates via biofrequencies and electrical signals. It identifies areas out of balance so that lifestyle changes can be made. And a quick overview of all of the features. I mean, I have a couple videos that I did on it if you want to learn more about that. I've got a lot of information about it on my website. But just kind of a quick overview of the features. They have a quick scan, an easy scan, an inner voice, a vital scan, the body system scan, which we'll talk a little bit about here. There's a comprehensive scan. There's also a subtle energy frequency imprinter, or CEFI, and they have MindSync. Again, go to the videos. I'm not going to go into depth with any of that stuff, but go to my YouTube, check out some of the videos, read the information on my website, hit me up if you have questions about it. It's absolutely an awesome wellness tool to have on hand. So I want to highlight the body system scan. So this will perform a thorough scan and optimization of hundreds of blueprint frequencies associated with the 13 body systems. So including circulation, urinary, connective tissue, digestion, endocrine, lymphatic, musculoskeletal, nervous system, respiratory, sensory nervous system, chromosomes, human cell, mitochondria, all these. It's very comprehensive, but it's not the comprehensive scan. All right, sorry. So these scans are not just scanning and optimizing, but also giving you specific lifestyle change suggestions based on your body, along with further insight as to why different problems may be occurring. So like the emotional causes, pathogens, parasites, anything like that. So it's incredible. It's a very empowering tool to have. Now, the hormone scan within the body system scan gives an incredible look at what's going on and sends optimizing frequencies to support balance. And of course, I have to give a little medical disclaimer. This does not diagnose, treat, mitigate any sort of diseases. It's used as an educational tool to kind of bring awareness to it, to different areas in your body, to your health. But it's actually something that you could bring into your practitioner that you're working with, and kind of compare. Maybe you're doing lab work with a practitioner, like blood work, maybe urine analysis, anything like that. The accuracy between the AO scanner and the traditional lab reports is amazing. So again, it can be a great tool to have when you're supporting your overall wellness. So when running a scan, it optimizes all those hormones, meaning that you're getting this whole body treatment with the scan. It's actually pushing the body back towards balance. And to kind of to get the scanner to know your body when you're doing, specifically when you're using the hormone scan, you want to start with doing a series of 3 times a day for 3 days in a row to get the scanner, again, to know you. And reading the report it's basically looking at the numbers So the out of range will be in bold, and anything 0 to 40 plus or minus is considered in the normal range at this point. It might change over time as more and more people run these scans, but for now, that's how you read it. It's also important to look for patterns rather than just focus on just one report. And this is also true of traditional lab reports. So our bodies are constantly fluctuating. So any lab report is merely a snapshot of what's going on. So again, looking for patterns is what's most important. So why would you want to do this scan rather than the traditional blood work? Well, it's a very non-invasive way to get detailed reports of the energetic state of your body. Again, like I was talking about, it's amazingly accurate. You can, again, compare them with traditional labs and see the similarities. So not only is it non-invasive and accurate, but you can also do it at home and from a distance. So if you don't have the AO Scan subscription, I have these scans added into consultations that I do. And I think everyone really should have this technology so that they're empowered to take, their health and the health of their family into their own hands. But I also realize not everyone cares to do that. Maybe not everyone is ready for that. So that's why I offer it as part of my services. So if you want your own subscription, I'm more than happy to help with that as well. All right, so wrapping up our webinar today, I will leave you with some questions for reflection. So this isn't really a question, but hey, for reflection here, choose one dietary strategy to help balance your hormones. Now here's your question. How might you begin to incorporate this strategy into your daily life this week? Same thing for the non-dietary strategy. How might you begin to incorporate that strategy into your daily life this week? So kind of think about some of those things. If you are interested in learning more, I have some free resources. First, the Busy Mama's Blueprint to Circadian Wellness. This is a free download on my website you can go get right now. Gives you a lot of really great, quick, easily to implement strategies to help to support your overall circadian health. I also have a thyroid health resource bundle. So this kind of gives you just a ton of information, a thyroid quiz, just so many different things to help to support your thyroid. It's a whole bundle that you can get as a free download on my website as well. And in addition to the free downloads, I also have a recorded workshop called Unlocking Optimal Hormone Health. And this dives deeper into hormones and the underlying factors that lead to imbalance, along with strategies to help bring back the body into balance. It comes with some PDF documents on cycle syncing, a seed cycling recipe, and also a high protein meal plan and recipe pack. So that's available for purchase on my website. Also, I want to talk about real quickly the nutrition tune-up. So this is my newest offering and I'm really excited about it. And it's basically a health audit. So I will send you a form to fill out and then I will review it in great detail. And then I make a personalized video for you going over all the suggestions, tips, tricks, whatever you need to help reach your health goals. You'll also receive some educational resources specific for you. And the best part is, no one needs to get on an awkward call or Zoom meeting to do this. So it's a great thing. You just fill out a form, send it back to me. I send you your video, your resources. Boom, you're on your way to feeling better. I think it's an awesome way to, an awesome offering. So, all right, well, I appreciate you taking the time to listen today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can follow along with me on Instagram. You can check out my website for all my free resources, digital products for purchase, as well as I have a link to my Etsy shop where you can shop for all my botanical skincare products. And again, if you're interested in getting albums from Listening to Smile, you can use my code EBF Holistic Wellness for 30% off. And if you want to join the community by becoming a member affiliate so that you're able to use this healing music for maybe your holistic business, sessions, maybe you're a yoga instructor, you want to use the music there, I will get you hooked up. So again, thank you all for your time, and I look forward to the next time our paths cross.